My name is Matt Chandler. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing with Givelify. Would like to thank you for signing up and participating in this live webinar. This is real. This is live. I'm actually here. It's October 7th, Tuesday afternoon, so you're not doubting the technology. I'm going to walk you through every feature of the Givelify Giving App dashboard. The dashboard is where you control every aspect of your customized Givelify app. It's also the donation management tool where you can access full data and reports on all donations that are made. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and take you right into it. As soon as that, there we go. All right. So the first thing you'll do to log into the Giving App dashboard is to visit givelify.com, and up here at the top right, you will see a link for login. You will use the same email and password that you used when you, or what that you created when you set up your Givelify account. If you've forgotten your password, you can click on Forgot Password and you can reset it that way. The first screen you'll see here, this is our demonstration account, Anointed City of the Lord. This is actually our address, so that we're not showing you anyone's real numbers. We don't share any information, any other information with anyone else. It's all private. It is all discreet and just for you. The first screen you'll see here is the Donations tab with Received, Balance, Disbursements, Refunds, Donors, and Data Export. There's a Giveathon tab and a Profile tab, and I'll go ahead and walk you through each one of these individually. The Received screen shows you all of the donations that you have received since you set up your Givelify account. It lists the total amount here at the top. This account is not real, but it has received $1,038.10. As you scroll down, you can sort your data by offering type or by date. We have set up several offering types. This is something you can do in the app customization section in the profile. But that's one of the beautiful things about the Givelify dashboard is you can set up different fundraising campaigns. By default, it comes with offering, tithe, and other. You'll see we've set up Trip to Haiti, Building Funds, Children's Ministry, and others just to show examples. So from this screen, if you want to see all the donations that have been made to a particular campaign, you can see Trip to Haiti has received $145.94 and 89 donations by 11 donors. You can click on that amount and it will show you an itemized breakdown of all of the donations that have been made to that campaign. Being our demo account, we make small donations just as tests to show that it works. This screen will show you every donation that has been made, when it was made, and who made that donation. If you want to drill down further, you can actually click the amount and you will see the date and time. You will see the donor, a receipt number, which is the same receipt number that the donor receives. You will see the total donation, the net fees, which is the 2.9% and 30 cents, and the net donation. In this case, $1. The fee was 33 cents, and the net donation to your church is 67 cents. So we can go back to received. The other view you can take yourself through is by date, and it will show you every day that a donation is made, October 7th, October 6th. So we can see that today, Tom Flanagan made a $2 donation 47 minutes ago. And again, we can click on the amount and get that full breakdown. He actually gave tithe and food for souls. So the date view will show you donations by date and give you each individual, break it down and itemized by campaign. The offering type actually breaks it down by the offering type on this screen. Moving on to balance, the balance is donations that have not yet been deposited into your bank account. It takes 24 hours or the next business day for disbursements to be made to your actual bank account. We leave these in here just as a demonstration, but you'll see 48 minutes ago, $2 that would actually show up tomorrow. So if you know you've received donations and have not seen those dispersed to your bank account, you can always check this balance and see what outstanding disbursements are there. On to the disbursements tab here at the top. This is the total disbursements that have been made to you. Now this is different from the donations received. Donations received is the total. Disbursements is what have actually been made to you from received minus balance. So you can see the total dispersed has been $891, and you can scroll down by date. Now there are two ways to export this data from here. From the dashboard, you can export all your donation data to a CSV file, or comma separated values. What that means is that it allows you to download this file and then open it in Excel or QuickBooks or whatever financial or church management software you happen to be using. From the disbursements, you can actually download individual dates worth of data. And see here, it was a total of 522. And with the list of included donations, the status bar here shows that it was started and completed as a disbursement. So you can actually export that, or you can go back to export to CSV all disbursements and click the button. You can then select your date range. So if we wanted to see everything done since October 1st through to today, generate that report. And I'm on a Mac, so it'll actually pull it up in numbers, but most of you are probably on Windows, so it would pull it up in Excel. And this is your disbursement report, ready to be imported into whatever software you use. You'll note that you see columns for disbursement ID, receipt, date, number, date, time, the name, the email, telephone address. As you scroll across, you'll see the total donation, the fees, and the net, and then the breakdown by campaign. So offering, tithe, trip to Haiti, etc. So once you have exported this file, you can import it into whatever software you use to manage your finances. The refunds section, now obviously what we do with our test account is we make donations, then we refund them. But typically you will see zero. If the card is reported lost or stolen, or if the credit card is rejected, you may see that here. There may be occasions when people might accidentally donate twice and only meant to donate once. You can actually go through and see those refunds here, but typically that will be zero. Moving on to the donors tab, you can actually see all of the people who have donated to your church. We'll show you the total number of donors. If you have a large congregation and you don't see them listed here, you can search by name. We'll go ahead and search for Wally. So whether you click on their name or you search, you will see that donor's profile, their name, their email, phone, address, how much they've donated, and an itemized list of all their donations when they were made. And again, you can click on that donation amount and see how much they donated, the fees, and the net disbursement to your church. Again, this is all included in the excuse me, the CSV file that you download and import. So if you prefer to look at it this way and search through the nice interface, you can, or you can do it if you're a data person or a financial manager. You can look at it as you see fit. There's one final tab here for data export, and this is the other way if you want to skip through instead of going to the donors or the disbursements. You can actually just go straight to data export and again select your beginning and end dates, And we'll do that for a few weeks. Export, and you have your data report. So that is the donations tab of the donation, the app management dashboard. The Givelithon is a way for your church to encourage participation and let people see a real-time view of your progress. On the donations tab, you'll notice that if we go back there, you see all of the donations that have been made, and if you click on an amount, for instance, you can see who made it. What we have done is we've allowed you to show in real time people making donations to specific campaigns without divulging their information. So for instance, if we went to do Food for Souls, we could say launch Givelithon. And then this is something that you could show, and you saw how the numbers rolled up. This is a view that you could display on your projector or on a big screen or monitor in your church in real time. And if someone were to make a donation to that, they would see that number update and the progress bar. And we'll get into how you actually set that up in the next section. But it's it encourages participation because people see the progress that's being made in real time. They get excited as the dollars roll up and the progress bar moves. They see how much closer they are to helping your church reach your goal, and people are more inclined to give. So you can actually make that full screen and cover everything else up. And so then that's all everybody sees. So we can close that Givelithon, and that's the live feature. Now in Profile, this is where you actually customize the app, set up your campaigns, add officers, and all of those features. The first screen you'll see is an app profile. It gives you a preview of how your custom giving app will look, and you can select both iPhone or Android. When you initially set up your account, there will be no images in here. And the way that you do that, you'll notice that on our demonstration account, this is the logo, cover photo, and the pastor's photo. The address and phone number are already populated from your account. To customize these images, you simply hover over the image, change your cover photo, find your pictures wherever you have them stored, and upload a new photo. Basically, if you can use Facebook, you can create your own app. Same is true for the logo up here. You can upload your logo. Now the pastor's photo is a little different. You can change the photo manually, but the photo itself, that is in the church section, is what is the lead pastor's photo. Every officer you have can have a profile image, but it is automatically defaults to the lead pastor's image for that section. So we can move on to offerings. And this is the section where you can create new offerings, turn offerings and campaigns on or off, edit them and whatnot. And remember earlier we did Food for Souls on the Givelithon. For each offering, you can elect whether or not to show it in the app. You can completely delete that offering. Now, keep in mind that deleting an offering does not delete the donations that have been made. It just deletes it from your account. We can edit an offering. You can rename. You can put in a description and decide how long you want that campaign to run. And down here, notice the Givelithon, it had the progress bar. You can set a fundraising goal. So for Food for Souls, we did $1,000. So the way you create new offerings is simply to go to the big blue button that says New Offering. And we're going to do Christmas Food Pantry. We'll say we're stocking community food pantry for the holidays. And if we don't want it to run all the time from today through forever, we can go ahead and say, how long should this campaign run for? We'll say from. And since it's a holiday campaign, we'll say November 1st. And then it goes to our end date. And we'll run that through December 31st. We can also say we have a fundraising goal. We want to say $5,000. So create. And there is our campaign. Now, we set our date as November 1st. As of November 1st, that particular campaign would start showing up in the app. If you want it to show up immediately, you can set the date for today. If you have an end date, it will show you how long it's available. So we said through December 31st. And you can reuse campaigns, turn them on and off just by simply selecting, let's say we got one room of carpet, but we need another one. We can select to show that in the app. And that was a bad example because it expired. But, okay, we'll just go through and do it. We'll say November 1st. Update. And there we go. So there's our Easter campaign. So the next tab is officers. This is how you actually add all of the people who would have access to this giving app dashboard. The lead pastor, that's the person whose name and photo will be displayed in the app. With any officer, you can edit their information. But what I'll do is I'll actually take one so you can see all of those features. But this screen will show you all of the officers. Say, for instance, if you have a secretary, a financial manager, you can add all of your pastors in there. Not everyone may want to have access to this. Maybe they don't want to see the financial data, and that's fine. But let's say that we got a new office administrator. We'll click on New Officer here at the top right. There are two roles you can select from, pastor and administrative. And if you're in pastor, we give you a range of titles here: minister, bishop, trustee, rabbi. You would simply put in their first name, their last name. If that person is to be your lead pastor, you would select on, and that would display by default their name and photo in the app. Now, here's an instance where if you were a pastor and you would not, if you got a new lead pastor and they didn't necessarily want access to the account, you can actually select off for that so that they appear in the app, but then they don't actually have access to all this back end. But we said we're going to do administrative. So we'll say Chief Financial Officer, John Doe. And we give access to the account. And you then provide a valid email address and a direct telephone number and click invite. And that is how you actually create new officers, add new pastors. You can also, if someone were to leave your church or your organization, you can actually delete their account so that they no longer appear, so that no one who no longer works for you has access to the application, which is obviously a good security feature. The next tab is banking. When you first create a Givelify account, you will have to add this information in. Once you've created it, it will appear here. Your next day deposit, it defaults to on because that's how we get the funds into your bank account via electronic transfer. If you need to change an account, this works similarly to creating a new account. You simply come in here, provide the routing number, the account number, and then either a photo or a scan of an official voided check. We do checking accounts primarily, and so in order to verify your tax-exempt status and verify your information with your bank, we do require a voided check. So you would either scan that or take a photo and save it on your computer, choose File, find the image, and upload that image. If you have a different billing address, so let's say you use a post office box, or if you have multiple campuses and want, you have the physical location of the church is different from the office, you can actually add a different address. And of course, since we don't want to replace that account, can go ahead and say cancel. But once you complete those steps, it takes about 24 hours, and we call you to verify the information, and then your checking account information will appear in your account, and you are ready to start accepting donations. The About section is where you actually fill in your address and phone number and email and your website. Now, this is important that this email address is different from your own. The email address that you use to sign up should be your own email address. If you have a general church email where all the general communication goes, you can add your church's email address here. One of the newer features of the Giving app dashboard is campuses. So if you have more than one campus location, you can actually add them into the dashboard under campuses. The nice thing is that it means you don't have to have multiple Givelify accounts in order to manage the donation information for each of your campuses. And you can also assign different officers per campus. So if you have a treasurer for each of your 3 churches, for example, you can assign a different person to have access to that campus, but not the overall account. So I can actually go in and view those donations for that extra campus, and we haven't done any yet. We'll go back here to campuses. We can change the officer. But if you do have more than one location, actually add campus rather than adding new accounts. And this works exactly the same as when you found your church initially. You can search by telephone number or by name. Do Find Now, and I just search for Anointed City, and these are all the locations that match that name in the city. We have already added our demo account as another campus, so we obviously won't do this, but when you find your other location, you would just do add as campus. You would go through and provide the new banking information, and you are all set to go. So that is a very, very brief and kind of whirlwind tour of the Giving app dashboard. And I'll flip back to, all right. So that is a very brief introduction to the dashboard. I will actually turn on the chat function. On the right side of your screen, you will see a chat window. This is an opportunity to ask questions in real time, and I can answer. I will let everybody know what the questions are, and I can answer those for everyone. And I'll give it a minute if anybody has questions. And I don't see any questions coming in, so I want to thank you for your time today. We do try to keep this pretty quick to be respectful of your time. We appreciate you signing up for this live webinar from Givelify, the Giving app dashboard demonstration, and hope you have a pleasant afternoon, and thanks again.